So Daphne Keene, who you all know as X-23 from Logan. She is a young a Jedi in this, a Jedi youngling, probably.
I thought she was
apprentice. Yeah,
I thought she was like the girl with the dreads, and
she's the one with the blonde hair.
Oh.
She's got like the white face, like white painted face, and the red outlined eyes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go on.
But she, so she was saying that the Acolyte aims to have lightsaber fights or a lightsaber fight in particular that will top the Darth Maul duel at the end of episode 1.
Those are fighting words.
The quote, it specifically says, "We want to top the Darth Maul fight, the most iconic fight. I think in the Star Wars cinematic universe, it's such an amazing fight, and we were all so excited about the saber fights. There's such a skill and craft to it that it feels so OG Star Wars and feels so impressive when you see it as a viewer." So she's saying it sounds like she's already seen what they filmed and that it feels like episode 1, which is, if that's true, it is incredibly exciting to get that kind of style of lightsaber dueling and fighting back. Is everything I want. I think I've said in previous weeks that like the fighting in episodes 1, 2, and 3 are the best in the entire series.
Right.
And it only makes sense for that era to have the same kind of fights. So you have to logically be accurate with that. I don't know if it's possible to be as good as that fight. You know, like I think a part of that fight what's so good is the score. Like, are you going to get John Williams back?
That's what I was going to say.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think he's coming back for the Acolyte. But the other part is the choreography, which they can get right. It's just going to be incredibly tough, you know, like to be as good as like she said, one of the most iconic scenes. Those are definitely some fighting words, like you said. So
yeah, I mean, like you were saying, like the first thing that comes to mind is the score. Like half of what makes that whole fight great is the score.
One of the best Star Wars songs of all time.
So if we're just basing it off of like the choreography, I don't necessarily have a doubt that they could do the choreography. I think a lot, like I think that sword play sort of fighting that they do, like I don't think that's necessarily like the toughest task. I think the toughest task is having the character, like that the fight has narrative purpose, the way that the Darth Maul fight had narrative purpose, and that we cared so much about the characters that it elevated the fight that much more.
Right.
So I feel like the main part is score,
getting the narrative right to go towards that point of the story. Right.
Yes. And so like I think this is cool, and it's exactly what you were saying, that it needs to line up with how like Jedi fought back then. And I think you don't bring on Carrie-Anne Moss you know,
to not have great action.
Not have great action, especially if your character. They were saying that her specific character was made for like if Trinity was a Jedi in mind. Like they specifically wanted to get Carrie-Anne Moss.
Right.
Can they pull it off? I hope so. I'm going to be positive, and I hope so. But my
only reservation is that it's Disney trying to pull off an old fighting style. You know?
And I haven't been too impressed for the most part with the Disney output on the TV front.
No. I
have been like there's two like Mandalorian seasons 1, 2, and Andor.
Okay, sure.
And parts of Ahsoka.
You almost can't even say Andor is like Disney, because they just kind of let them do whatever they wanted over there.
But like it is Disney, so we right. You gotta give them some credit. You know, it's still under their name.
Sure, that's fair.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna get myself too excited. I'm choosing to not let myself get excited, because I feel like every single time I do, I just get let down. So we'll just see. You know, like I hope she's right. I think it's a great thing to strive towards.
Yeah. It for sure is. Yeah. I think everything she's saying is right. But if it doesn't look how she's promising, then she's gonna be a villain. You know, like it's not gonna be a fun day for her online. I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like those are big words.
Yep. They are
Those big words.
Yeah. I'm curious if it's going to be like multiple fights that we get, but it sounds like she's talking about one in particular. So.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't need you trying to do it like 5 times throughout the show.
Sure. But I do want the fighting style to be throughout the show. Right. So I hope they get that right every time, but we will see.
But to top it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.